Super Bowl 60 Friday. How you doing in one of the greatest weekends in pro football and one of the greatest weekends in Americana? The Super Bowl. I mean, it's the biggest event in American sports. It's actually the biggest event in America. National conventions, Republican, Democrat, political, Grammys, Oscars, pro football destroys everybody. And this is what and why I love talking sports. The Washington Post can end their sports section, but guess what? They want to talk about dumb shit. Pro football, sports in general, it's one of the greatest things to ever bring Americans together. We got the Olympics tonight too, opening ceremony of the Olympics in Italy. I love that as well. Anytime you can get nationalism and anytime I get to see the old flag and old glory, I'm ready to rock. Love seeing Americans support their country. I love seeing Americans definitely play for their country. I love it. One of the greatest weekends, man. Olympics and the Super Bowl. We got that all here, man. Last night, the NFL Honors. That was a pretty dope show. I love Stafford coming out with his 4 girls. I thought that was pretty cool last night. He also said he's coming back for the 2026 season. So many things were on the line last night. We'll hit in that. Most notably, though, your Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, by the way, M. Reyes, you are correct. That is one of the only sports that I believe that I could still compete in, okay, is curling. You can actually be drunk. Now, me getting down on a knee right now might not be an issue for me, or be a tougher issue, I should say. But doing the whole thing with the, with the broom and shoveling and all that, I don't know. I think I could win a gold medal doing that shit. How you doing? I mean, like, right? Oh, we're going to get there. Seals, the Dickerson's potential retirement. Change the draft also. I think Stout becomes Texans O-line coach. Good grief almighty. Kyle, thank you for the supers. My friends, please hit that like button. So, yes, now we have a new casualty. Landon Dickerson. And who, by the way, let me say this, and let me do this with great pride. Who's the heavyweight champion of the world in sports talk? Big Sills. 13 injuries, I told you. 13 injuries Landon Dickerson has had. I said this to you guys 3 days ago. That dude's never going to be the same. He will never be the same. Now we're talking retirement of a 27-year-old guard. I mean, the 2000, how about this? The 2024 season may have done more harm on the Philadelphia Eagles in winning that Super Bowl than ever before. And maybe anyone actually thought in what that cost the football team. Think about that. Your line, you may lose 2 people off that old line going into this year. Lane Johnson and Landon Dickerson. And then you'll have a shell of a dude in Cam Jurgens. Your offensive line would be in tatters. And then on top of that, you lose Jeff Stoutland. I'll ask you again. You think you're a Super Bowl contender? You're talking about potentially a dude calling it a career at 27. Calling it a career. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that that's not a place you want to be right now. It's having your offensive line have to be rebuilt this offseason. Absolutely. Happy birthday there, Flexen. We appreciate you always being here each and every single day. Absolutely, you get one. All right. Big Z's going to join us. My friend Mike North, the legendary Chicago sports talker and one of the greatest sports talk hosts in American history. By the way, Angelo and Howard Eskin were fabulous yesterday, both those guys. The legendary Philly Godfather would join us. That'll be at 5:30, and you now. All right. Dude, this is some week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Till soon, you will be the king of Philly sports talk, dethroning Eskin. Keep up the great work, bro. Thank you. Those are great compliments. And it's been a privilege to be talking sports in Philly and else places. It has. It's been an honor. Because you know why? I've talked sports in so many other cities. Like, I'll tell you this. No disrespect to Tampa. And I love Tampa. I love it. I don't know if I would talk anywhere else but Tampa on the radio. But the sports there compared to here, night and day. Night and day. It's just, there's always something, especially, I'll say this to you about your Eagle team. That Eagle team, there's something new every day. There's just something new every single day. All right? All right. I'm going to make a statement here, and I want you guys to tell me if you think I'm off base or I'm on base. Hit the like button here. Some of you are going to get upset here. Some of you may not. Are you ready? Okay. Did Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job in Philadelphia? I think he did. How many people in here believe Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job? No. You disagree? Yes. I'll give you my take why in a minute. How many people in here believe that Jalen Hurts? Now we're getting somewhere, Paul. Now we're getting somewhere. How many people in here believe Jalen Hurts cost Jeff Stoutland his job? Definitely no. I think Sirianni did, but Hurts helped. Plus, he has disrespected craziness. Here, guy who completely disagrees and is a knee dragger for the team. Knee dragger. I think Saquon dancing at the line, low floor, med ceiling output this year, got him out of here. A little bit of that's true by the knee dragger. You're overanalyzing it, Sills. Have you ever thought Stoutland just wanted to retire? He's not retiring. He said he's going to continue coaching. Stoutland isn't retiring. Where in that world did it say Jeff Stoutland retired? I think you've got your guys crossed. Vic Fangio's talking about retiring. Stoutland is not retiring. Nowhere, anywhere did it say Stoutland's retiring. Here's what, okay, here's where I'm going with Jalen Hurts. So, did Jeff Stoutland stop Jalen Hurts from running? And let's ask this question. How much do you think Jalen Hurts not running this year and not being the dual threat quarterback hurt the Eagle run game? What do you think? How many people think that Jalen Hurts hurt the run game himself by not running this year? Yes or no? Do you think Jalen hurt the run game by not running? Yes or no? Okay. So wait a minute. Now you guys are starting to do this. Well, wait. Okay, hang on here now, guys. Hang on. All right. Stoutland pretty much got pushed out, and the proof is the Eagles already hired someone to take over the run game. Yeah, they had a guy in mind already. Ian Rappaport said that Stout is still in the building. Stoutland is not coaching the offensive line, and he's not part of the run game. He could still be a consultant. He's going to take it. Jeff Stoutland's going to coach again. He's going to coach again. It ain't going to be in Philly as long as Nick's there. Sorry, Sills. I mean run game. How about this? So people agree that Jalen Hurts stopped running this last year, right? It was one of his lowest output years. Okay? Well, Jeff Stoutland, you had injuries and the quarterback not wanting to run. I mean, what can he do with the quarterback not wanting to run? He can't make Jalen Hurts fucking run. So Jalen Hurts, in essence, expedited Stoutland and his exit and him being pushed out of the coaching staff. Hurts is responsible for it too. Right? Jalen didn't want to run. And he doesn't want to run anymore. Hurts lost his step, got paid, won't run anymore. Okay? How is that Jeff Stoutland's fault? I mean, how is that on him? Like, by the way, what do you think a new run coordinator is going to do when you have Landon Dickerson? By the way, let's do this. Let's say Landon Dickerson does come back. Landon Dickerson will never be the same. If Landon Dickerson comes back in 2026 and plays, Landon Dickerson is nowhere going to be anything near the Landon Dickerson of 2024. He's nowhere near that any longer. I think Jalen knew the O-line was effed up. So that cost Jeff Stoutland his job. Then, right, Leon? That cost him his job then, right? Shills, the only O-line coach I would bring in is the San Francisco O-line coach. Coaching almost 30 years, was with Dungy in the O-line in Tampa. What's that guy's name? I forgot. What's that guy's name? He was there. By the way, yeah. Who brought him over there? I forgot what that guy's name was. He was with Tony Dungy. I forget that guy's name. What was his name? Oh, the guy who has drug issues. Chris Forster. He's a fucking great coach. He had a drug problem. You know what? And I like him. He had a drug problem in Miami. And he had to step away from the game because he had a cocaine problem. He's a great coach. He is a fabulous coach, man. Seals, I did some research 10 years ago. The average age of an NFL coach was 54. Today, it's 47. The league is trending to a youth movement. That could be. You see it all over, especially in the head coaching position. Absolutely. Mike Munchak's a great one, too. That's a great call there. C North, that's a great one. Guys, hit the like button. Seals, you and Xander were completely wrong on Tet McMillan. Hawaii pride, brother. I said he sucked. I thought he was the only wide receiver that was in the draft. I don't remember saying anything. What did I say negative about him? I thought he was good. I didn't think he was great. By the way, just because you won the Rookie of the Year award, was it a really great crop of wide receivers? Let's see what Tet McMillan did this year. For you to say that, I'm wrong on him being a rookie. Let's see here. Tet McMullen. Arizona State. Let's see what he did this year. For you to say that I'm wrong this year. Let's see what he did in his rookie season. What did he have? What was his numbers? He had 1,000 yards. Okay. It's a decent season. I thought he was one of the only weapons that they had in Carolina. I thought he was, hey, that's not bad. A rookie year. It's not. Both you and Xander said he wouldn't pan out. When did I say he wouldn't pan out? I never say that. I never in a first year of an NFL draft ever say that because I make it very clear. The Monday after a draft, I never say if a guy sucks or not. How would I know? It takes 3 years to figure out whether a player's great. So, Gabe, that's a fucking lie. I never in a million years ever say if a player's good or bad or give grades after the fact. Most of those guys don't even have helmets or shorts yet before you can even make an assessment on them. That's ridiculous. I make that comment all the time. Like when the Eagles draft coming up in April, the following Monday, I'll never tell you if it's a bad pick or not. I'll tell you if I like a guy or not. I don't know if a guy's going to pan out. Dean's first 3 seasons were a bust. They were a bust. And quite frankly, Leon, you tell me, if he doesn't get a contract extension, do you think it was a good pick? How about this, Leon? If the Eagles don't extend him, do you think it's a good pick? Yes or no? If he doesn't get a second contract in Philly because he's missed 24, 51 games over the last 3 years, do you think that's a good pick? If you think missing half of your games is good, so you think that's good. Leon thinks missing 24 of 51 games is good. All right. Well, Leon, you and I will agree to disagree because missing half your job is not a good pick. Still, thoughts on the clip? Doug was telling someone that they drafted Jalen to be a starter for them, and soon Eagles lied about him being a backup. Boy. So wait a minute, Jason. Let me ask you this. So you gave Carson Wentz a $30 million deal. You draft Jalen the following year. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? I would spend my 3 picks on an O-line if the board falls that way. Hopefully 2 of them would be plug-and-play guys. Who said it's okay? Who said it's okay? Seals, how good is the kid from A&M? He's kind of short. I liked him this year in the SEC. I thought he was really good. Seals Malott on Radio World was almost in tears regarding Stout. Kelsey had the same sentiments. He made those guys. How about this? Like I said to you guys, Jalen Hurts in many ways cost Jeff Stoutland his exit. He cost Jeff Stoutland his exit. I'll tell you this, too. I took some things away from Birds 365 today from John McMullen I'm going to get to here in a minute. So, I mean, boy, is 2026 shaping up to be the year that will do this. How about this? It's shaping up. Bullshit. So, Jalen Hurts not running. I'll ask you one last time, guys. He says it's bullshit. Let's see how many yards Jalen Hurts ran for last year. And see if he affected the run game. So Jalen Hurts. What did Jalen Hurts run for last year? Let's see. Jalen Hurts, rushing. Had the least amount of rushing yards by over 300 this past season, running for 400 yards. Years previous, 670, 605, 760, and 784. Jalen Hurts cut it in half. Year previous, he ran the ball 42 times a game. Year before that, 50 yards a game. Year before that, 52 yards a game. This last season, 26. Jalen Hurts stopped running the ball. I'll ask you again. Do you think that Jalen Hurts not running the ball affected the run game? Yes or no? And Reyes says that's bullshit. Well, if the quarterback stopped running, how does that not? And you had a running back that wasn't as effective as the year previous. How in the hell do you think that's bullshit? If the quarterback stops running, who's considered dual threat, how in the world? Okay, here, let me hear it. Damn, it seems like the run game coordinator was screwed. Saquon's numbers were lower too, but the context on it, the entirety of the run game was fledgling. Hold on, M. Reyes, the quarterback stopped running too. How is that Jeff Stoutland's fault when the quarterback doesn't want to freaking run anymore? A lot of his runs got called back due to holding call, Sills. So I call bullshit too. I'm with Reyes. So you think Jalen, a lot? Like how many? 60? Prince, what are we talking when you say a lot? 60? 40? Let me see how many carries he had a year ago. Hurts had 105 carries. Let me read you his carries. So what, 50 carries you think got called back due to penalties? Year previous, he ran for 150. Year before that, he ran for 160. Year before that, he ran for 165. Hey, get this. In 1 year, he had 139 attempts and 784 for 61 yards a carry. Led the NFL quarterbacks in yards per game. Hurts stopped running. Who in their right mind believes that those plays got called back and that's why he stopped running? Holy shit. Excuses for the Jalenites. Hey, I got to tell you something here, and I agree with John McMullen, and I've been saying it since day one of 2021 when I came to work here in April of 2021. When they pull that guy finally, boy, are you guys going to moan? Jeffrey Lurie will be called a racist by the end of the year when that year is. I don't think it's going to be 26. I think it's the end of 27 that this shit's going to come to a head. And you'll be calling your owner a racist for taking him out of the starting lineup. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. This thing is totally trending this way. The owner, you'll start calling him a racist when they pull him and bench his ass. Because you know why? The next topic. I don't believe this quarterback is going to be the fit for the new offense they want to run. They're not building this new offense for Hurts. They're building this new offense. When somebody says this, they want to throw the ball more. They want to have more of a spread offense. Well, that ain't him. They're going to see if Jalen fits it. Because you know what they're building this offense for? The next quarterback. They're not building this offense for Hurts. They're building this for the next dude. They're building this for the next guy. Where in any way, how about this? How many years has this guy been a quarterback? So here, he's been a quarterback since 2020. In 6 years, where in the world have you seen that this guy's going to be a 650 attempt guy and you're going to spread the ball around and throw the ball near 600 times Anytime he went over 500, he was a turnover machine. And you think this guy's skill set's going to fit in? And all of a sudden, if this was the case, Nick would have did it from day one. He would have been running an offense that Phillip Rivers ran. Why didn't he do it from the beginning? Why didn't he? Yeah, that's what I do, asshole. That's what I do. That's what I do is race bait. Why? Because that's what you're going to do? Your quarterback can't run this offense. On February 6th, I'll say it today. You can't run this offense, Jalen Hurts. The one they want to put in, never happened. Never happened. I watched that guy in a game you needed to throw the ball against San Francisco, and you shit the bed. You shit the bed. How about this, Leon? What year did you see Jalen Hurts consistently week to week throw the football without dual threat? Name me one year. Never. He hasn't done it one time yet. In his entire career, he hasn't done it. He's done it with his legs and his arms, not his arm. Where in his career as a football player, Oklahoma, Alabama, did he do it? Where? He's never done it. He's not the prototype quarterback that the offense they want to run. When Jeff Stoutland left, it's the beginning of the end. I told you, if Stoutland is still on the team, it'll tell you all you need to know about the quarterback. You didn't hear me last week. Here's another thing we said a week ago. Stoutland's the key. If he's still on the team, they're going to still do the same shit, and they're going to win. But if he's gone, it's the beginning of the end. We don't even know the offense. Really? So you think you're going to be a run team without Jeff Stoutland? Prince, you really think you're going to be a centric guy? And with the fact that you may lose Lane and Landon, and you've got an injured offensive line, hey, by the way, I know I'm dead on with this. That guy can't do this. Here is bold prediction number one for make sure Xander on February 6th. February 6th. If Jalen Hurts throws the ball for over 600 times, he'll lead the NFL in interceptions. Yeah. Can't keep throwing to the numbers, kid, for 600 attempts. That means you got to throw across the middle. No Goddard? Goddard ain't coming back. Shit, we're not even sure AJ's back. And you're going to throw the ball 600 times. And you're not going to run the ball as effectively as you did. Okay? You got 23 INTs? I got somewhere between 18 and 20. If you throw the ball for over when you threw the ball 538, what was it? He had 15 picks. What was the year? 538. He had 15 picks. You throw the ball 600 times, he'll have 20 picks. That's who he is. He never led the league yet, so that'll be a first. There you go. So how are we going to throw the ball so much with no AJ and Goddard? This is what this is the offense you're bringing in now. What do you think you're doing when you get rid of a guy like Stoutland? You're not going to have, it's not going to be run-based. This is going to be throwing the ball. Barkley already hinted at retirement last year. I think Saquon's got 2 more years left. I think this is going to be a 2020 year. I do too. I got you winning 7 games. And let me write that down. I did that on February 4th. I'll say this, between 7 and 9 right now, I got the Eagles winning. Between 7 and 9. Seals, if Jalen wants to be a drop-back passer, what's he going to do? He wants to be a drop-back passer when he grows up? It'll never happen in Philly. It'll never happen in his career. Do you know that you still have people thinking that he can do this when he's never done it? And if this was the case that the Eagles thought he could, wouldn't they be doing it? Nick Sirianni is a passing coordinator. He's been one his entire life. Kellen Moore was a passing coordinator. They came to Philly, they became run coordinators. Do you know who I think the run coordinator is in Philadelphia? Nick Sirianni. That's who I really think the run coordinator is Nick Sirianni. 2026 will be the beginning. I heard John McMullen say something, and now this is why we're going all in. John McMullen, who covers the team, and I think he's one of the best reporters. And correct me if I'm wrong, Xander. John McMullen said, hey, the owner likes him, but the owner doesn't look at that player the way he once did. That's known in the facility. And the reason that they're revamping this offense now, I don't believe they're building it for him. I think they're telling Jalen this. Either you're going to go along with what we're going to do, or we're going to find somebody that is going to be able to play in this offense. That's my take. When I heard McMullen say that, they're not building this offense. Guess what? I think they're hoping that it's Jalen. But if it's not, they'll go get Sam Darnold or somebody like him. Plug him in there and go win games. I'm telling you something. That guy in Seattle has changed the way a lot of organizations are looking at the quarterback position. I could get a $37.5 million guy and run an offense with good coaching and a good system and great players, and I don't need to spend $50 million bucks. If I have good coaching, a guy like Mac Jones in the Philadelphia Eagle offense, to them, that's what they're looking at. To me, I'll tell you what I would do if I were the Eagles. If I'm going to make these drastic changes, I would go to the San Francisco 49ers and say, I'll give you a third for Mac Jones, and I would put that guy's ass behind Jalen Hurts. And if Hurts in 2026 can't run that fucking offense, I'm putting that guy in, and that's the beginning of the end in 27 for Hurts. The Eagles hope, I think this, I really do. I think they hope it's Hurts. I think they hope it's Jalen. Guess what, folks? There's too many massive changes. This is not subtle. This is abrupt. When teams have abrupt changes, that means it's changes at the top, coach and quarterback. This is directional change. They're pivoting. They're not pivoting yet off of Hurts. By the way, this is, as John said, from the owner. They want to pivot away from this style, and they want to be ahead of the game. They're not going to sit and wait for this offense to get caught up. They're just not. They're going to be, Howie Roseman is not going to sit back and wait and see if Jalen Hurts continue to win games the way they've been winning the last couple years. They're just not. I swear, I do believe they pray that it's Hurts and that he can. But they're not going to wait. Great take, Sills. You hit a grand slam. You don't need a $50 million quarterback to win a ring. Of course you don't. Well, shit, keep Tanner then. He'll be cheap and a fit. Okay, maybe they will. Maybe they'll sign him in the offseason here to a contract that'll keep him in the building. I don't know. Listen, Leon, I'm not saying they go like this. John McMullen said that they're not looking at Hurts the same way they looked at him 2 years ago. By the way, do I think they love him? I do. Loving somebody and wanting him as a face of a franchise has nothing to do with whether he's going to be able to play in this new system. I happen to agree. They have made massive changes here. Jeff Stoutland is not just some, well, let me get rid of Tracy Rocker. That's not the same as getting rid of Tracy Rocker. Okay? How did they? Get this. Watch this. How did the Patriots get away with it? Because they had 3 years of shitty football. They won 4 games, 3 years in a row. They made the transition from Belichick and Brady and went through 3 years in a shitty coach and Jared Mayo to get to where they are right now. They went through bad, took a step back to take 3 steps forward. That's how they got here. Because they knew they had to take a step back to move 2 steps forward. Because guess what, folks? That's exactly what New England did. New England took 3 steps backwards, 3 shit years. They knew they had to. They had to pivot. They did. Here they are, back in the game again. That's exactly what the Eagles are doing. Okay? Get this, during the Super Bowl again because of this philosophy. You're ripping your staff apart. Explain this to me, too. Explain to me like M. Reyes a dumbass. How do you give the keys to an offensive coordinator that basically has never done shit in this league? And the only thing you're taking is word of mouth that he's smart. What is that? Once again, you're giving the organization the benefit of the doubt that the guy's a nobody. He's a fucking nobody who people talk highly about. Okay? Get this. That's who the guy is. He's a nobody who people think highly of and interviewed great with Nick. Okay? Get this, what I'm saying to you. That's not an opinion. That's who he is. Guy's been a coach for 25 months. And you made him offensive coordinator. Okay? Why? Because Nick and them are going to change to the way Nick likes to throw the ball. Spread offense. It's time to move on from these old straight head coaches and OCs. It's what they're doing. By the way, let me ask you something. Again here too, Andre. Hurts is not a drop back quarterback. He's not. Lamar Jackson's not a drop back quarterback. Josh Allen is not a drop back quarterback. They move around in the pocket and they do off schedule shit. That's who those guys are. Matthew Stafford is a pocket guy. That's the kind of offense Nick's going to run here. That's what they're doing. You cannot run a West Coast offense with the way Jeff Stoutland ran the ball. Okay? You need who's the offensive line coach? Let me see this here. Okay. Ryan Wendell. Anybody know who that is? Anybody know who that is? Ryan Wendell. Anybody have an idea who Ryan Wendell is? Anybody? Ryan Wendell is the offensive line coach for the Los Angeles Rams. Where did he play his ball? Anybody? He played his ball in New England. and he was in the Josh McDaniels pocket passing offense. They ran the ball with Shoney Michel, and they ran him like in sprint options and stuff like that. Very little zone read. It's kind of the same thing that you see with this kid from Notre Dame that runs now. That's the role. Barkley's role is now limited. They're going to limit his role. Barkley will be around 222 carries, 204, somewhere in there. But they're hoping his yards per carry are going to be around 5.5. It's more going to be important for him to have yards per carry than it is going to be about volume of carry. They don't want volume of carry. The Eagles don't want a 38 carry game anymore. They're getting away from that. They want a 38 attempt passing attack. That's everything Hurts is not good at. He's not good at that. We've seen it on display. Now, to what they wanted, what they're hoping for is they're hoping that Hurts can adapt to it. Because he's one thing that Jalen has been great at, and I will give him great credit for this, is that he's been able to adapt with multiple and different styles and different coordinators. No question. However, what's the one thing they always do? When they find out he can't do it, they revert back to what his skill set is. The Eagles don't want to revert back. They want to move forward. Here's their attitude. My opinion, they're going to do what New England did. If Hurts can't do it and the season goes to shit, here's where you are. You're going to fire Nick. You're going to move on from Hurts, and you're going to be creating a new offense. And you're going to plug and play a brand. They may keep, you know what? They may keep Nick and move on from Hurts first. Why would they fire Nick at the end of the year if they're moving away from Jalen? I disagree with John McMullen. And to some extent, I don't know if Xander was on that point, but I don't think they're going to fire Nick if the thing goes south next year. If you're changing an entire system and the quarterback can't do it, why would you hire a brand new coaching staff to bring someone else in to do something that you want to do when you've already tried implementing where you want to go in the future? You fired the quarterback, not the coach. So let me get this right. Nick Sirianni's got 12 months to put this offense in, and if it doesn't work, he's out. Then they're going to try to do it again with a different coaching staff and a different quarterback, but they want to get to the same place? Why did you just fire Nick now? That doesn't make sense. Follow me here. Yeah, I'll do it slower. So what people are saying in Philly, some people are saying this in Philly. So Nick, if he doesn't get this right, will be fired at the end of the year, which means this. They want a higher volume offense in passing. They moved on from Jeff Stoutland. Okay. They want to throw the ball as much as they can, right? So if it doesn't work, they're going to fire Nick and not the quarterback? And they're going to come back with a new coaching staff to do what? Coach a guy who can't do what they want? How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Ramir, what makes you think all these players and coaches leaving that a new quarterback is going to come in and do the same with nothing sounds like more of a rebuild? No, I think it's a pivot. I think it's a pivot away, okay, it's a pivot from what they're doing. Sills, this is how I would rebuild the O-line. Sign Seumalo in free agency, then get Proctor round 1. Round 2, get a guard from A&M. Okay? Listening listen to what you're saying. I am. I'll say it again, Prince. So let me get this right. You're going to change the entire offensive game plan to a passing attack, knowing full well the quarterback can't. Okay? You're going to fire Nick, keep the quarterback, hire a new staff to do what? Shit he can't do? Why don't you, what do you mean it's a new scheme right now? What do you mean? It's a new scheme that the quarterback can't do. Prince, he can't fucking throw the ball from the pocket 38 times. What are you not understanding? He's never, ever, except for the high volume turnover year, a new coordinator? It's not just a new coordinator, dude. It's a new approach. What do I know? I'll tell you exactly what I know. When you change the type of coaches that you changed out, you're going in a completely different approach in how you're going to try to win games. Get this. Oh my God, it's not Nick Sirianni. So why keep him? What do you mean it's not Nick Sirianni? So, okay, once again, folks, this is what Prince is not following. They're hiring a brand new coaching staff almost. O-line, passing coordinator, run coordinator, the entire overhaul. They overhauled the entire offense for a brand new scheme that they're hoping the quarterback can adapt to, knowing full well he can't. In 6 years, he's never done that. They're hoping he can. And if the quarterback can't, you're going to fire Nick and then do what? Hire another coaching staff to do the same thing, knowing full well the quarterback can't adapt to that scheme? I think you need to listen to yourself, guy. Sills, if you're right, then this isn't the make or break season for Nick, meaning Nick is safe. Well, here, Bob, ask yourself, Bob, do you get what I'm saying here? So they got a brand new, they have completely revamped the entire coaching staff, just